For the majority of their program's history, Indiana football has not been very good and are always near the bottom of the Big Ten. But the Hoosiers program is on the rise, and now fourth-year head coach Tom Allen is looking like he could be the real deal and has already taken Indiana football to new heights in just 3 seasons. Today I will be continuing my little mini-series talking about coaches, and we will discuss how Tom Allen has rebuilt Indiana football and why the program is on the uptick. If you are new to my channel, I make videos about college football, so be sure to click that subscribe button and help me reach 4K subs by the end of August. Be sure to smash that like button, drop a future video suggestion in the comment section, and turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload. Now let's get started. Let's first take a look at how Indiana did in the 2019 season, and then we will backtrack and talk about how Tom got them to this point. The Hoosiers went 8-4 in the regular season and played Tennessee in the Gator Bowl. Going into the 2019 season, Allen hired a new offensive coordinator in Kalen DeBoer and a new defensive coordinator, Kane Womack. These two hires really got no media attention, and no one really knew what to expect. Redshirt freshman Michael Penix Jr. was going to be the quarterback, sophomore Stevie Scott and freshman Samson James were expected to be a 1-2 punch at running back, and Whop Phillier, Nick Westbrook, and Ty Freifogel made up a really solid receiving corps. Many projected the Hoosiers to win 4 to 5 games in 2019, but they ended up being wrong. Indiana would go on to win 6 of their first 8 games, including a huge road win against Maryland. The following week, they would go on to beat Nebraska on the road, and in their win over the Huskers, Indiana clinched bowl eligibility in late October, something that Indiana football fans are not really accustomed to seeing. After that win, Indiana would jump into the top 25 and got a chance to play in an ABC primetime game against Penn State. This may not sound like that big of a deal, but this was truly remarkable for a program that is annually one of the worst Power 5 football schools. They didn't win that game against Penn State, and they also lost to Michigan the following week, but they finished the season with a thrilling double overtime win against Purdue, and they finished with 8 wins. They were set to play Tennessee in their next game, and the Volunteers were one of the hottest teams in college football after their Georgia State Week 1 disaster. Indiana was winning almost the entire time, but like most Indiana fans will tell you, what happened next they fully expected. A couple big Tennessee plays later, and an onside kick recovery led the Vols back into the game, and they took the lead. The Hoosiers got 2 opportunities to win the game, but they failed on both of them and lost. This was really heartbreaking for Indiana, as this would have been a huge win for the program, plus they would have gotten to 9 wins, but the season alone was good enough for most people. It becomes even more unbelievable when you realize that they won 9 games with their backup quarterback most of the season. Backup is kind of a loose term though, because Peyton Ramsey started the previous 2 years for the Hoosiers, but once Michael Penix went down with an injury, Ramsey stepped in and won those games. Penix was actually originally committed to Butch Jones at Tennessee, but when Jeremy Pruitt came in, he pulled his offer and Michael eventually committed to Indiana. This is fascinating because I would have loved to see him go off against Tennessee in their bowl game, but he was injured and the Vols kind of dodged the bullet with that one. I also kind of found it worth noting, it's completely off topic, but Adrian Martinez was also committed to Tennessee at the time before he flipped to Nebraska. Okay, so Indiana won 8 games in 2018 and defied expectations, but they still didn't beat a team with a winning record, which is what a lot of people like to criticize them for. I don't really care for that argument because they were not favored to win all those games, and not many teams beat Penn State, Michigan, or Ohio State on a yearly basis. It also says something that they didn't play down to their competition. So what exactly made the team do well? Well, Kalen DeBoer's impact and importance cannot be overlooked. Before the season, he told the media that Indiana was going to break out and do big things in the coming years, and he was completely right. He gave Indiana a new offensive identity and helped develop Peyton Ramsey into the player he would become. DeBoer improved the offense from 26 points a game to 32 a game, and the Hoosiers scored 11 more touchdowns in 2019. They got 5% better on third down conversions, and the team's total passing yards went up by nearly 1,000 yards. Kalen offered a new style of offense that better utilized the weapons the team had. I'm not just blowing smoke about this guy either, as after only 1 year with Indiana, DeBoer was hired to be the head coach at Fresno State to replace Jeff Tedford, a team that won 11 games in the Mountain West just 2 years ago. The offensive line played well, Peyton Ramsey broke out, Peyton Hendershot emerged as one of the best tight ends in college football, and Whop Phillier emerged as a 1,000-yard go-to receiver, which is all somewhat thanks to DeBoer, who Tom Allen was smart enough to hire. So, the offense got a lot better, but what about the first-year coordinator on the defensive side of the ball? Well, the defense played much better in 2019 and only gave up 24 points a game, which was the 45th best in college football. Playing against the likes of Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Michigan State, and only giving up 24 a game on a season is pretty impressive in my eyes. So now we have examined the 2019 season, but what about the previous 2 years, and how else has Allen helped build the Indiana football program besides his hires? Well, in Allen's first year, the Hoosiers went 5-7 and lost to Purdue to miss out on a bowl game. Once again in 2018, the Hoosiers went 5-7 and lost to Purdue again in the Oaken Bucket to miss out on a bowl game. So the Boilermakers really became a thorn in the side over their first 2 years, which is why it was such a big deal that they beat him in Ross 8 in 2019. The two key things that Tom Allen is doing to rebuild Indiana football are his attitude and work ethic, plus his recruiting and ability to scout. Let's first talk about his attitude and work ethic. LEO is the acronym Allen constantly uses. That stands for love each other, which is pretty straightforward in a simple phrase, but it truly represents Tom. He's all about building a family with his team and his players, and he wants them to all be happy and comfortable. He will be tough when he needs to be tough, but he hopes that his coaches and players will all create a loving environment to get the most out of everyone, and because Tom knows they will reach their full potential if he does that. He wants his players to do more than just be on the football field. He wants them to be quality people, he wants them to be successful in life, and he wants them to make the world a better place. Tom Allen's the kind of guy who is all about Indiana football, and he really wants to help build the Hoosiers into a winning program. He famously kicked over a trash can in their win over Virginia in 2018, and he's just always excited and brings a ton of energy to the table. I think when he got hired by IU, it was his dream job because he has spent time coaching in Indiana before, and I really just think he wants to help this program be good. When it comes to recruiting, Tom has brought in some good talent, and he's also found some hidden gems. For example, he found gems in running back Stevie Scott, wide receiver Whop Philyor, quarterback Michael Penix Jr., and defensive back Tywan Mullen. Another case I want to bring up is linebacker Micah McFadden. He was the second lowest ranked recruit in their class, and he ended up leading the team in tackles last year. In 2019, Allen landed the 36th best class in the country with commits from running back Samson James, who was originally an Ohio State commit, defensive end Bo Robbins, and linebacker Cameron Williams, who were all ranked as 4-star recruits. Their 2020 class is headlined by 4-star wide receiver Rashawn Williams, and they have a 4-star quarterback recruit Donovan McCulley locked up in 2021. Tom has brought a mix of hard work and attitude to the program, plus just good scouting, good hires, and the ability to land high-profile recruits. He's getting the Indiana fan base and students pumped up for IU football, which is something that hasn't been done a lot in the past. A lot of people think the Hoosiers can break out in 2020, and I completely agree with them. They recently had 3 players named to the Maxwell Award: quarterback Michael Penix, running back Stevie Scott, and wide receiver Whop Philyor, and it's pretty crazy they have players with that kind of talent. If Indiana football continues to get better and they become a perennial bowl team, a longer documentary about the rise of Hoosier football, but for now, I just want to address some of the hype and good things that have happened so far. If you like Tom Allen and want him to succeed, then I know he would really appreciate if you took a quick moment to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button for him. I need your help to reach 4K subscribers by the end of August, so let's see if we can make that happen. Let me know what coach or topic or really anything you guys want me to do next down in the comment section, and be sure to share this with your friends. Now, if you're still here, check out my video about the downfall of Indiana basketball that I did with Cole Adams, or my video about the story of Whop Philyor. Until next time though, peace.